Washington, D.C. Friends, I last came here 10 years ago when I was an American diplomat, and there have been some real tough times in this country in the past 10 years. The earthquake, the pandemic, so much suffering. But what has really lifted my heart with joy in these past 2 days in Kathmandu is the amount of progress that Nepal has made despite these tough setbacks. The fact that you're having this wonderful summit, that you have a growing stock market, that you have a growing GDP, growing personal wealth, is really remarkable. At the United States Chamber of Commerce, we believe in the Founding Fathers' credo of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we want that for Americans, and we want that for all of the people of the world. And it's a delight to see Nepal doing well. In fact, particularly important is the reduction in poverty rate by an estimated 25% since 2011. I can tell you Kathmandu in the past 10 years has been transformed, and there's so much wealth and happiness on the streets, and that is exactly right and proper. Hosting this summit is a very strong signal to the world that Nepal is open for business, and we applaud you and your government for taking this initiative. The United States Chamber's mission in Nepal is twofold. First, we wish to support and recognize and celebrate the accreditation of the newest American Chamber of Commerce, and we really appreciate all of their hard work over the past 3 years to become accredited. The AmCham Nepal has the full support of the American business community because they are the representatives here of that community, and they are the leaders who will help drive private sector investment and facilitate commercial exchanges between the American people and the Nepali people. The AmCham here in Nepal can be a reliable, constructive partner in policy engagement with the government on ways to build a prosperous, free, sovereign, and happy Nepal for the benefit of all. Second, we want to understand the current business environment and the investment landscape in Nepal, and understand the government's reform and liberalization agenda and its priorities. And in this regard, I want to say that I had a wonderful meeting with the Honorable Prime Minister and with the Honorable Finance Minister, and we heard very clearly the message of the government of Nepal about streamlining regulation, about ease of doing business, about speed of doing business, and about transforming Nepal through private sector investment. I also would say that we are taking this information back to the United States so that we can talk to our many thousands of member companies about the prospects in Nepal. Your presentation that we saw earlier was very compelling about the comparative advantages in Nepal, and I think that kind of messaging to the world is extremely important, so I'm very glad to be here. I would also want to thank our senior executives who traveled in with me, who came in from New Delhi. We have a lot of senior American executives in the region who make investment decisions. They're in Delhi, they're in Gurgaon, they're in Mumbai, of course, and in Bengaluru, and they're so close by. And these are people who are senior in American companies. They are empowered to make investment decisions. It is clear that Nepal has amazing opportunity in ICT, energy, tourism, agriculture, infrastructure, and financial services. These are areas of great interest for American companies. ICT particularly, I feel, can be a game changer. American digital economy companies are the leaders in the world, and they are interested in what's happening in Nepal. You have a wonderful demographic dividend, you have a fantastically talented and increasingly skilled populace, and this could be a real hotspot for American digital economy companies. In a way, Nepal can take full advantage of this by ensuring that the regulations that govern the digital economy are as competitive as possible. Because these companies, being digital, can hire wherever the best policy opportunities are. And if the policy and regulatory framework in Nepal is good, they will come. Friends, the development and unlocking of Nepal's rich hydropower resources through effective regulations and policies can also position the country as an energy hub and an exporter to the wider region, which will fuel considerable growth in this region and in Nepal, and of course generate tremendous amounts of revenue and prosperity for the Nepalese people. Clean energy could also sustainably fuel further investment in Nepal, particularly in energy-intensive products such as servers and data centers, especially relying on clean and renewable energy. Friends, while there's a lot that's been accomplished, and I really appreciate the rhetoric and the clear policy signals of the government of Nepal, I think that there's always more to do, and this is where American companies play a role. American companies have been in Nepal for decades. They are responsible stakeholders. They adhere to the very highest levels of ethics and managerial and technological excellence, environmental stewardship. They are very large employers in this country. They pay substantial amounts of taxes. They touch the lives of millions of people in this country, and they are working to build a better and happier life for all of the people of Nepal. Companies like MetLife, Coca-Cola, our digital economy powerhouses, are deeply dedicated to the happiness and prosperity of this country. And indeed, we believe in the role of the private sector in generating prosperity and wealth and happiness, and not generating debt and obligation, which is only a way to go backward. Creating a more level playing field for foreign companies, building regulatory predictability and mechanisms for stakeholder inputs, and focusing on ease and speed of doing business will generate further investment in Nepal. In the words of an old American film, if you build it, they will come. We commend the government for its actions in many of these areas, and we appreciate very much the government's efforts to obtain Nepal's first sovereign credit rating and working to pass the electricity bill. We believe that a commitment to lasting reform will enable Nepal's business environment and private sector truly to flourish and generate sustainable, inclusive, and resilient growth for Nepal's citizens. And friends, may I say from my regional perspective, it is clear that the next 20 years in this region could be completely transformative. If you look at the demographic advantages, if you look at the increasing regional and collective effort for integration, and the amazing, amazing demographics of South Asia, I think that you could see a transformation in the lives of the Nepali people over the next 20 years that is going to greatly enhance your prosperity and your happiness. But friends, effective and coherent government policy will be essential, and it will catalyze Nepal's efforts to graduate from least developed country status very soon and enter middle income. Friends, the United States Chamber of Commerce stands with you. We look forward to hearing good news from Nepal. We'll take the good news we've heard today back to Washington. We invite you all to continue the engagement. Thank you all very much for the opportunity to speak to you. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in inviting to the podium President of the SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Mohammad Jassim Uddin.
Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, Mr. Pushpa Kamal Dahal, His Excellency Finance Minister, and the Honorable President of Nepali Federation Chamber of Commerce and Industry, other dignitaries in the dais, the Honorable Ministers, diplomats, business leaders, distinguished guests, members of print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to you all. On this momentous occasion, I am honored to join the inaugural ceremony of the 3rd Nepal Investment Summit 2024, held in capital of Nepal, a beautiful city of home of the world's highest mountain peak. On behalf of SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the government of Nepal and the supporting organization for their dedication in hosting this prestigious summit for the 3rd time. The presence of such distinguished gathering today is a powerful sign of Nepal's growing importance and the business expansion of the global and regional scale. So I congratulate Nepal for this landmark arrangement. Distinguished guests, Today's investment summit serves as a springboard for the further networking and the continuing potential investors, developers, national and global business leaders, policymakers, and other key stakeholders. This vital exchange will showcase Nepal's opportunities as a top investment destination. The SAARC region boasts immense potential, the vast market, a young and dynamic and the diverse resource. As a president of SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I am particularly excited about the future prospect and trade and investment between Nepal and the SAARC countries. However, we must also acknowledge the first challenge invitees like South Asian Free Trade Agreement, the SAFTA and the SAFAs have yet to reach the South Asian, their desired potential. Inter-regional SAARC trade remains below 7%. The NAFTA, this figure is over 40%. The 56% in EU countries and 22% is ASEAN countries, and the 5.36% is the Commons. Excellencies, it is highly relevant to reveal this year the many of the fresh starters, the regional trade and the activity, the Ankara, the Akaura and Agartala rail link between India and Bangladesh was integrated recently. Similarly, India-Sri Lanka ferry service has resumed after 40 years, and the Bhutan-Bangladesh have entered into an agreement enabling the Bhutan use Bangladesh railways, airways, seaport, waterways, and the road transit. In addition, South Asian countries, particularly Nepal, Bhutan, and Northeast India, possess immense potential for the hydro power generation. The first ever regional energy market has been functional with the participation of India, Nepal, Bangladesh. This traditional activity highlights the hydropower and the central theme of the unlocking border benefits between Nepal and Bangladesh. We are looking forward the regional electricity market with the increase the synergy of the clean energy resources and the tapping immense hydropower potential in Nepal and Bhutan for low-cost energy crisis across the SAARC. The region also largely untapped the strategic manufacturing and trade hub that can be revitalized through investment, energy, agriculture, infrastructure, green business, logistics, and the connectivity, pharmaceutical, FMCG, healthcare, and startups with the innovation and driving sector add regional respect. To move forward, it is essential for the government to reason for creating business-friendly parallel policies, reducing trade and transport costs, and the transit the time along the regional corridors. The natural beauty of the rich cultural heritage South Asia, including both Nepal and Bangladesh, make them popular tourist destination. By joining forces, joint initiatives, we can create win-win situation for all the involved. Collaboration can extend both beyond energy, e-commerce, educational exchange programs, secondary, tertiary, and the technical levels. This foster skill as well develop the workforce across the region. In this era of fourth industrial revolution, digitalization has been opened new avenues for the innovation, efficiency, and the inclusion, bringing new facilities and the individuals, organizations, and nations. Significant advanced digital technologies have driven dynamic changes for the way we communicate, the access of information, to how we conduct the business. Following these changes, new drivers and the considerations are also emerging, especially for cooperation in skill development, harmonize the regulatory framework, and the cybersecurity measures in essential. So, despite the challenge, I am confident that we can build a more vibrant future for regional trade. Cooperation during COVID-19 pandemic, notably vaccine access, financial support, and the food supply, and the example of the new dimension of our regional ties. Let us leverage this summit as a platform for address the first shortcomings by streamlining the regulations, fostering across-border collaboration, and the investing in the infrastructure. We can unlock the true potential of SARC. In conclusion, I would like to stress the importance of the South Asian regional cooperation. In the new context, I hope we can work together to identify new opportunities, foster innovation, define our approach to lead the global trade. Let us harness the potential of Nepal to build a brighter, more prosperous future for South Asia. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward the valuable discussion, insights that will emerge of the investment summit.
Thank you.
Together, we can create a more prosperous and the interconnected South Asia. I wish a great success of the third Nepal Investment Summit 2024. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammad Jasimuddin, the President, SARC Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and to all the esteemed speakers who have represented their voices at this forum. Thank you for the essence of solidarity and optimism that you bring along, and special thanks for your valuable remarks and the love, affection, and cordiality you usher into this forum. So that, ladies and gentlemen, we will now be hearing from our steadfast and long-standing allies who have contributed immensely in shaping Nepal's economic landscape. First and foremost, it's my pleasure to invite to share his remarks the Acting Vice President of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, Mr. Rajat Mishra.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste. It's an honor to represent AIB and speak at this important event. And I will just try to focus briefly on how AIB can assist Nepal in its development journey. Nepal is at a historic cusp, scheduled to graduate from category of LDC to medium-income country very quickly. And with robust macroeconomic stability and strong external sector, Nepal can capitalize on its strengths to further its development. Firstly, Nepal possesses a very strong democratic dividend with a young population. Secondly, Nepal is blessed with abundant natural resources, including hydropower, which has already been touched by a lot of speakers. Third, Nepal has a fertile land and rich biodiversity, which can support the growth of agro-industries. And last but not least, Nepal's breathtaking landscapes, rich cultural heritage, and the majestic Himalayas make it a prime tourist destination. However, to fully harness these potentials, infrastructure development and connectivity is crucial, and which is where AIB can play a significant role. As the newest multilateral development institution with a focus on infrastructure, including social infrastructure, AIB has both sovereign and non-sovereign financing windows. We have, just to give a brief background, we have 4 thematic priorities, including green infrastructure, connectivity and regional cooperation, technology-enabled infrastructure, and private capital mobilization. And all of them resonate with Nepal's development needs. On the green infrastructure, for example, we see significant potential in export of hydropower to countries like Bangladesh and India, which have significant energy needs and rely on fossil fuels currently. So it will help significantly in greening of the energy sector in the region. We can help in development of renewable projects, hydro projects, transmission lines, cross-border connectivity, and so on, and where private sector participation is also very critical. Connectivity is another priority for AIB, and we have set ourselves a target of cross-border connectivity to represent 25 to 30% of all financing approvals by 2030. Nepal's landlocked and mountainous regions, it raises the cost of production and trade, but AIB can help in development of roads, power transmission, airports, water infrastructure, and digital infrastructure to help transform Nepal to a land-linked country. Finally, Nepal has the potential to become an important base for agro-industries, as the previous speaker from ITC also pointed out, producing high-value items such as tea. AIB has experience in financing connectivity to tea gardens through a rural road connectivity program in India, and we understand the importance of skilled manpower and connectivity of such industries. And we recognize the importance of investing in Nepal's demographic dividend. To ensure that the youth stay in country and contribute to its development, investment in education and health is essential. AIB can invest in social infrastructure, including both public and private education and healthcare facilities. In conclusion, AIB stands ready to support Nepal in its development journey. Through our focus on green infrastructure, connectivity and technology, and private capital mobilization, AIB can contribute to Nepal's sustainable development. Together, we can build a prosperous and resilient Nepal for future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in inviting to the podium the Vice President for Central West and South Asia, Asian Development Bank, ADB, Mr. Yin Ming Yang.
ADB's operations in Nepal and share our views on priorities for promoting investments. ADB is seeking opportunities to expand our private sector operations. Our investments include a hydropower project, lending to SMEs, including women-led business, partnership on trade finance with financial institutions to strengthen the enabling environment for the private sector development. Through a mix of our instruments, mainly policy programs, investment projects, and technical assistance, ADB works with a wide range of stakeholders to help pinpoint critical reforms and integrate them into our operations. Some key areas for strengthening the enabling environment for private sector include simplified permits and approval process in the areas of business registration, land permits, environment and social safeguard standards, investment repatriation, flexibility in hiring, and transparent and fair tax administration. Furthermore, ADB is developing a PPP roadmap for Nepal and will support priorities identified in the roadmap. ADB, in collaboration with International Finance Corporation, is also working with the government to obtain approval for ADB to issue offshore local currency bonds in the near term in order to enrich the tools for supporting a strong private sector development. Coming to mainstream support, ADB offers support for PPPs in the form of transaction advisory services at every stage of the project cycle. ADB deploys significant resources to support upstream and midstream activities for PPPs. ADB envisages some midstream opportunities for private sector support to be embedded in its sovereign operations, and will therefore screen each project at early design stage to identify such possibilities. For example, in the PPP roadmap for Nepal, our initial assessment shows the potential for PPPs in solid waste management, smart metering, solar parks, options and maintenance of roads and tunnels, consistent with ongoing federal reforms. Turning to downstream support, including climate finance, at Asia and the Pacific's Climate Bank, ADB aims to mobilize $100 billion in climate finance by 2030, and to increase support to climate change mitigation and adaptation to 75% of our overall commitment operations in terms of a project number. ADB supports the financing needs of our developing member countries, including the private sector, especially in meeting their climate goals and the net zero target. In Nepal, ADB expects mobilizing a combination of concessional resources and technical assistance to the private sector for large-scale climate initiatives. ADB will consider support for MSMEs, including women entrepreneurs, in niche product value chains, such as horticulture, medical and aromatic plants, and non-timber forest products. ADB will also explore opportunities for mobilizing long-term private financing for infrastructure development, such as electricity generation from hydropower and other renewable sources. We will also explore ways to scale up business models and technology solutions to increase their impacts, focusing on digitalization, gender equality, inclusive finance, and climate adaptation, in line with the government priorities. ADB will further endeavor to diversify into other segments of infrastructure, such as high-quality telecommunication services, clean and affordable transportation, urban infrastructure and services, and tourism infrastructure. In closing, I would like to commend the initiatives taken by the government to promote investments and reiterate ADB's strong commitment to assist Nepal in attracting private sector investments with both our knowledge and lending services, and in partnership with all the other stakeholders, including the business community. Finally, let me wish a great success of the summit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. May I now invite upon stage the South Asia Regional Vice President of the World Bank Group, Mr. Martin Reiser, to share his remarks.
Right Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Finance Minister, respected former Prime Minister, Excellencies, heads of delegations, ladies and gentlemen, partners and friends. Namaste and a good morning, or by now almost good afternoon to all of you. It's a great pleasure to be back here in Nepal and very exciting to participate in this third Nepal Investment Summit. I'm here with a delegation of colleagues from the World Bank, from the IFC, and from MIGA. We, as the World Bank Group, are here to support Nepal's commitment to transform the country into an emerging destination for global investment. There are many things for Nepal to be optimistic about, and a lot of them have already been mentioned. Nepal's economic model has delivered growth and reduced poverty with an average rate of 4.3% in the last decade, elevating the country to lower middle income status in July 2020. Nepal offers many opportunities for greener, more resilient and inclusive development. Lucrative growth drivers include the hydropower, tourism, agribusiness and IT sectors, which offer comparative advantages and export potential and can spur job creation. The government has taken many proactive steps to facilitate both domestic and foreign investment across sectors. The World Bank Group also acknowledges the recent government decision to amend 9 laws through an ordinance. At the same time, Nepal needs higher levels of resources and investment to achieve its development goals, much more than what the public sector alone can provide. According to Nepal's National Planning Commission, Nepal will need to mobilize $2.75 billion per year in private investment if it is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. To improve the climate to attract these investments and crowd in private sector, both domestic and international, several priorities stand out. First, Nepal will need to continue to improve the legal and regulatory environment. My friend Yang Yingming has outlined a number of areas in this regard, so let me not dwell on this. Second, we recommend the development of a national investment policy that translates broader FDI and domestic investment targets into specific strategies across sectors. One of the previous speakers mentioned the long-standing dialogue we've had, for example, on the development of the electricity bill. This is an example of the kind of sector-specific legislation based on continuous dialogue that Nepal needs to embrace. Nepal should also strengthen the institutional capacity at the federal and subnational levels to implement credible PPP projects and improve service delivery. So many of the previous speakers have mentioned opportunities in this regard, particularly in the infrastructure sector. And perhaps more fundamentally, Nepal needs to be ready to embrace greater competition and level the playing field for new investors to come in. The World Bank Group has been a credible and steadfast partner in helping Nepal improve its investment climate. Recently, we supported 2 critical policy reforms to facilitate greater foreign direct investment into the country, including the reduction in the minimum FDI threshold to 20 million rupees and the setting up of the automatic approval route to allow FDI of up to 500 million rupees. We also work closely with Nepal Rashtra Bank to strengthen its anti-money laundering legislation. Recent data suggests a positive uptick in FDI inflows, indeed an 80% increase in the first 4 months of this year, in the first 7 months of FY24 compared to the same period in FY23. We are helping Nepal conduct investment assessments into the investment climate, including through the World Bank's flagship Be Ready report, which will be released in September this year and will assess the overall investment climate. We're also carrying out similar assessments at the provincial level to help identify opportunities and constraints at the subnational level. The World Bank Group is here as investors. IDA, IFC and MIGA offer financing models that can catalyze private investment and offer national and international stakeholders an unrivaled opportunity to strengthen development impact. We have invested, we're ready to invest, and we're ready to do more. Indeed, jointly with our partners in the Asian Development Bank, we have recently signed an MOU to expand investments in Nepal's hydropower potential, including the flagship Upper Arun and Dutkoshi projects, with major expected benefits not just for Nepal's economy, but for Nepal's neighbors in South Asia. We are here as development partners to continue supporting the government's reform agenda, which is critical to unleash private sector potential. with the ADB and the World Bank Group to guide this legal environment. With this, let me wish the third Nepal Investment Summit the best of success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. Thank you so much for your very insightful and valuable inputs. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look forward towards upscaling our already existing and strong ties with our development partners, we cannot help not extend a note of gratitude to them for their very strong support and for their camaraderie as well as the cordiality they have extended to Nepal over the many decades that we've worked together. So that, ladies and gentlemen, we also cannot help share how overwhelmed we are to have received best wishes and greetings from all our friends, partners, collaborators, who not. And we take a moment now just to present before you a few prominent such greetings and messages received from our very valued friends and partners in front of you now. First and foremost, allow us to draw your attention towards the screen now as we play the video message received from the Secretary General of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, Her Excellency Madam Rebecca Greenspan.
Your Excellencies, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, Ministers, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs Narayan Kaji Shrestha, Honorable Finance Minister Barshaman Pun, distinguished delegates, investors, business leaders, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. As Secretary General of the UN Trade and Development Conference, it is with great honor and a sense of shared purpose that I address you today at the third Nepal Investment Summit. Nepal, a land of breathtaking natural beauty, rich in resources, culture, and a dynamic workforce, is already on a positive growth, heading to graduate from the least developed countries category in 2026. Its young and dynamic population, a strategic location at the crossroads of Asia, and a growing appetite for progress, is poised to become a regional beacon of inclusive growth and innovation. This summit marks a critical opportunity to showcase Nepal's immense potential to global investment and provide a multi-stakeholder platform to exchange and interact. Both from hydropower and renewable energy to sustainable agriculture, tourism, and the technology sector, Nepal offers diverse and lucrative investment avenues that promise meaningful contributions to the nation's development trajectory. We, at the UN Trade and Development Conference, have long recognized Nepal's great investment potential as showcased in the investment guide and the investment policy review we undertook specially for the country. According to our study, Nepal has made significant strides in recent years, demonstrating a strong will to create a conducive business environment. The government's effort to streamline regulations, enhance infrastructure and institutional capacity, and promote transparency are encouraging signs for potential investors, together with the very ambitious policy agenda that has been proposed. Policies like the new Foreign Investment and Technology Transfer Act, Industrial Enterprise Act, Public-Private Partnership Act, IP Policy and Labor Law are important reforms in Nepal, along with several other investment-related policies in the pipeline to improve its business environment. As Nepal continues on this path, ensuring a level playing field for both domestic and international investors will be essential to attracting the scale of investment needed to reach its full potential. We must also prioritize investments that empower women, youth, bridge social divides, and that address Nepal's unique vulnerability to climate change. Investing in green technologies, resilient infrastructure, and climate-smart agriculture is not merely a profitable choice, but an urgent necessity for Nepal's long-term prosperity and security. We at UNCTAD stand as a steadfast partner to Nepal on this journey. Our reports, conferences, and technical programs are available to support the government in creating policy frameworks that promote sustainable investment, build capacity, and foster technological innovation. Distinguished guests, the opportunities before Nepal are vast. By working together, government, the private sector, investors, civil society, and international partners, we can unlock Nepal's potential and build a future where economic growth, social progress, and environmental sustainability go hand in hand. Let this summit be a catalyst for bold action, innovative partnerships, and a resounding commitment to a prosperous and inclusive future for Nepal. I thank you.
And we extend our bit of gratitude for these very optimistic and encouraging words from the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development. Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, this summit is all about laying a foundation to creating new ties and to bolstering networks, both old and new. And in this regard, today for us is a fresh beginning. And this say finds its relevance in the newer and the changing world realities and the context as well. And amidst the heightened developments triggered by technology, AI, and whatnot, our needs are shifting, and therefore the importance of coming together. Nepal cannot wait, trust us. Nepal cannot wait to reap from your expertise, your resources, your knowledge to create that essence of solidarity and prosperity together. Thank you one more time for your very, very valued presence herein. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, we will now be hearing from high representatives from our very, very esteemed and close allies, friends, partners since a long, long time now. Friendships that date back ages old. And they would be introduced by their excellencies, the ambassadors of the Friend Nations who represent them. Ladies and gentlemen, the friendship, support, and collaboration have yielded countless opportunities of growth and progress for Nepal, and they continue to shape the trajectory of Nepal's development journey. Said that, and with immense gratitude, I have the pleasure, first and foremost, of inviting upon podium His Excellency, the Ambassador Dean R. Thompson, the Ambassador of the United States to Nepal.
Honorable Prime Minister, distinguished members of the Cabinet, esteemed guests and participants, it's really a pleasure to be here to have an opportunity to introduce some friends of Nepal in our video. But quickly, I just want to say, for 77 years, the United States has been a steadfast partner working closely with Nepal on its development journey, and we're so proud that as we look forward for the next 77 years, we're poised to invest billions of grant-based assistance in developing infrastructure, transportation sectors, health sectors, and many, many other areas of Nepal. And working together, we want to strengthen the business climate and make Nepal indeed a fine destination for investment. Congratulations on this summit, and I would turn people's attention to the video screens to see some friends of Nepal from Washington with their greetings.
The United States is deeply committed to Nepal's economic future. For over 7 decades, the United States has worked with the Nepali people, its government, and the vibrant private sector to attract investment, to strengthen the business climate, and to make sure this economic growth benefits people at all levels of Nepali society.
I had the unforgettable experience of visiting Nepal last year, and I saw firsthand the deep cultural heritage, the incredible natural beauty, and of course the inspiring people that make Nepal unique. From tourism to clean energy, agribusiness to IT, Nepal provides a significant emerging opportunity for investment. As Nepal graduates from least developed country status in 2026, this summit is of paramount importance, as are the government of Nepal's continued steps to adopt pro-growth reforms and further build on its impressive democratic progress. USAID is looking forward to continued partnership with the government and with the private sector to generate additional growth and opportunity for the people of Nepal.
The United States is committed to supporting Nepal's economic growth. DFC has committed more than $270 million in projects across Nepal to support Nepal's vital economic sectors, including technology, agriculture, and energy. We have focused on improving access to capital for small and medium enterprises across Nepal, particularly strengthening women's economic empowerment. And we know that there is much more that we can do together. Together, we can invest in Nepal's infrastructure and help support economic growth across the country. And we at DFC are ready to do our part.
Nepal and the United States have a long history of bilateral ties based on our shared principles and values. I saw the importance of this common foundation when I visited Nepal last year and witnessed firsthand the immense potential for growth in our relationship. I'm excited for this summit because I see how much opportunity exists for Nepal and the United States to expand our business and investment ties. I look forward to seeing how both Nepal and the United States find ways to make Nepal's business climate welcoming to U.S. investment and how we can continue working together to build up our relationship.
The $500 million Nepali-led MCC Compact supports clean and reliable energy and safer roads and aims to create tens of thousands of new jobs for Nepalis and facilitate robust cross-border trade in clean energy. By helping Nepal achieve these national priorities, businesses will be encouraged and enabled to sustain and grow their investments.
Through these partnerships, the United States also supports the government of Nepal on policy reforms to attract even more business interests, making it easy for local businesses to grow and helping the government deliver on its promise of an inclusive and prosperous democracy for all Nepalis.
The U.S. government is looking forward to supporting Nepal as it realizes its incredible potential as a global destination for business.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you indeed. May I now invite up on stage the Regional Director of the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, Mr. Ben Mellor.
Right Honourable Prime Minister, distinguished guests, namaste. Last year, the UK and Nepal marked 100 years of friendship, uniquely certified by treaty. Our sights are now firmly fixed on the next 100 years, which can and must be an investment-driven epoch for our old friend. I am delighted to be back in Nepal. Less than 2 months ago, I had the privilege of congratulating the new government on its second day in office. And here we are already celebrating a major milestone, this third Nepal Investment Summit. Today's event follows a successful investment conference held in the City of London last year, where Nepal garnered significant interest as an investment destination. And momentum is building. Over recent weeks, the Nepal government has enacted by legislation or by ordinance important economic reforms, which we've heard about this morning, which will make it easier for many gathered here to invest in Nepal. I commend these efforts and encourage rapid implementation to ensure Nepal secures the investment it needs. As the UK Minister for Development underlined during his own recent visit, the private sector is the engine of development. Only the private sector can drive development and create jobs at the rate necessary to keep the kids in the country and consolidate Nepal's graduation from LDC status. This summit sets us on that path, mobilising domestic and foreign direct investment to upgrade infrastructure, harness hydro, expand big business, and build a market in which SMEs, the engine of employment, can flourish. I am delighted that our UK delegation at this summit reflects the full bandwidth of UK-Nepal economic relations. Our delegation is reinforced by His Majesty's Trade Commissioner for South Asia and by senior representatives of the UK Development Finance Institution, BII. They are joined by a range of experts, some of whom already invest here, and some of whom are indeed proud UK Nepalis. I'm pleased to finish my remarks by introducing a short video from two British ministers, Minister Trevelyan and Minister Mitchell, both card-carrying members of the Nepal Fan Club and equally passionate about improving your investment climate. Like them, I wish everyone a successful investment summit. Thank you very much.
Namaste. It is a real privilege for my colleague, Minister Andrew Mitchell, and myself to speak to you today as you gather at the Nepal Investment Summit. We are so sorry that we cannot be with you there in person. Our bilateral relationship, dating back to 1816, is a testament to the close and warm relationship between us and ties between our people which have strengthened over time. I cherish the very warm welcome that I received in Nepal last year during the celebrations of 100 years since the signing of the Treaty of Friendship between our two countries.
Now, my own recent visit to Nepal left me in awe of your country's enormous potential. Multiple sectors, whether that's tourism, hydropower, digital or agriculture. And we have no doubt that investors will find these investment opportunities attractive. The strong growth potential, combined with a chance to build lasting networks, can help businesses achieve their aims while helping your economy grow. Regional energy trade will get a significant boost if businesses can harness the untapped potential of the vast hydro resources. That will not only deliver practical benefits, but also combat climate change at the same time.
Since 2012, we have supported Investment Board Nepal, which has mobilised over £1 billion in investments, including for the Arun 3 hydropower project. Our development finance institution, British International Investment, has committed £125 million in Nepal and is actively scoping new investment opportunities.
And during my recent visit, I launched the UK's new development portfolio. Between now and 2030, we will provide £400 million to attract more than £1 billion in investment. We support your determination to create a conducive environment for investors and stand ready to work together on the necessary reforms for making Nepal an attractive destination for foreign capital.
We hope that this summit will be a great success, and we look forward to working closely with you to further strengthen our partnership. Thank you.
Thank you indeed. Thank you indeed to the high dignitaries and to Mr. Mellor. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I invite up on stage His Excellency Ambassador of India to Nepal, Mr. Naveen Srivastava.
Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda ji, Honorable former Prime Minister of Nepal, Sher Bahadur Debaji, Honorable Finance Minister, Varsman Punji, other ministers of the Government of Nepal, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate in the third Nepal Investment Summit and also to introduce the speech by our Commerce and Industry Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, who unfortunately cannot join us physically today because of the ongoing elections in India. Before the speech, let me share a few thoughts about India-Nepal relationship and economic relationship in particular, and what both our governments have done in the last few years to strengthen it further. As is well known and have been spoken by earlier speakers, India and Nepal share civilizational ties, cultural, traditional links, since times immemorial form a unique bedrock as we develop our multifaceted relationship in the modern times. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi and our Neighborhood First policy, it has been our endeavor to work with the government of Nepal to create an enabling environment for benefit of both peoples. It is indeed a matter of great satisfaction that India today is the biggest cumulative FDI investor in Nepal, with more than 33% of Nepal's FDI stock currently, which amounts to about 89 billion Nepali rupees. This investment trend continues its positive trajectory, and in recent times we've seen new investments coming in sectors such as construction, automobiles, or FMCG. This is apart from the huge investment that India and Indian companies are making in the hydropower sector. As we look to the future, the Government of India will continue to encourage Indian industry to invest further in Nepal. The large presence of the Indian delegation today is a reflection of that commitment. We would also be launching a new investment guide for investment by Indian companies in Nepal in collaboration with the Nepal-India Chambers of Commerce and Industry. As governments, it has been our endeavor to not only encourage and facilitate business investments, but also to create infrastructure facilities and ease regulations which will organically foster greater economic linkages. Towards this end, the Government of India is working towards several initiatives by providing grants for building integrated checkposts, 3 of which have been made functional, 2 more are being built. We've launched cross-border digital payments to facilitate an ever greater number of Indian tourists coming to Nepal. Indian tourists already constitute the largest number of foreign visitors to Nepal. And as speakers earlier said, in the last few years, hydropower exports from Nepal to India have added a new dimension to our ties. Last year alone, Nepal exported about 650 megawatts of power to India, earning a considerable revenue, which constituted about 10% of Nepal's total export to India, or 7% of Nepal's global exports. To further foster this, our 2 governments have also concluded a long-term agreement on power trade, which was finalized during Right Honorable Prime Minister's visit to India last year. At present, we are also discussing a trilateral power trade between India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. The vast demand for clean energy in South Asia, with a combined population of close to 2 billion people, provides an opportunity for Nepal to further boost its hydropower potential, and in the process to ensure economic development. In this regard, the choices that we make now can be the vehicle to convert the vision of Nepal to become, to foster inclusive economic growth. And I'm glad that the long-term power agreement was taken at the initiative of Right Honorable Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachandaji and Prime Minister Modi. Today, post-COVID-19, there is also a focus on building trusted and resilient supply chains. In this context, the regional economic integration in South Asia through such supply chains can form a new avenue of growth between India, Nepal, and the rest of the South Asia. I hope today's this investment summit would provide an opportunity to discuss and other aspects for how to further boost regional economic integration in South Asia. Before I conclude and invite you to hear our Minister for Commerce and Industry, Mr. Piyush Goyal, let me also thank both IBN and the Government of Nepal, as well as other agencies, for putting together this fabulous event. Thank you.
Namaskar, esteemed participants of the Nepal Investment Summit 2024. Truly a privilege and honor to address this august gathering. While I regret not being able to join you in person on this momentous occasion, I am confident that we will have many more opportunities to connect and collaborate in the future. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Government of Nepal for hosting the Nepal Investment Summit 2024 under the theme Emerging Nepal. Nepal and India not only share a border, but also a deep-rooted friendship and a vision for a prosperous future. India has always been a trusted partner in Nepal's development journey. Friends, the unique ties between our two nations are built on long-standing people-to-people connections that have stood the test of time. Nepal is a key partner in India's neighborhood first policy, and it reflects in our continued collaboration. And we cooperate on projects in hydropower and connectivity. Reiterating the words of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, I quote, "We will continue to strive to take India-Nepal ties to Himalayan heights." Investing in Nepal is not just about seeking profitable ventures. It's about contributing to the progress and prosperity of a nation with immense potential. Friends, I am confident that going forward, we will continue to work as friends. We will continue to invest in Nepal. We will continue to expand our trading and business relationship. I urge investors from around the globe, including India, to seize this opportunity and become a part of emerging Nepal. May this business summit be a grand success. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Immensely grateful we are to their excellencies for adding this extra value to this forum, for their great reflections and insightful sharings. And to all the high dignitaries, thank you so much for adding all that value through your insightful statements and by being a part of this summit, which, as said earlier, is of paramount importance to all of us. So that, ladies and gentlemen, we move further on now, and yes, allow me to reiterate that the statements coming from the inaugural ceremony is of central importance for us as they set the tone for the rest of the proceedings spread across the 2 days we are under this roof. And they are central again, in fact, pivotal to guiding, creating a base and guiding and giving direction and food to the expert-led deliberations across the 2 days we are here. So that now we turn turn to our honorable leaders who have been close to the policy reins for a long time now, bring along a plethora of experience and a vision that stands strong with the spirit that they bring along to this forum, and whose presence, ladies and gentlemen, itself is a testament of their sensitivity, commitment, and solidarity to the national development and prosperity of Nepal, and a reflection of their gratitude and the great value Nepal accords to your very valuable presence amidst us here in Kathmandu today. Said that, please join me in inviting to share his remarks former Prime Minister and leader of the opposition party, Honorable Mr. Sher Bahadur Deuba.
Right, Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda-ji, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, leaders from the private sector, eminent business persons from around the world, ladies and gentlemen. A warm good morning to you all. Thank you, Prime Minister, for hosting this important summit and inviting me to speak a few words of this inaugural session this morning. Let me also extend warm welcome to our distinguished guests who have traveled all the way to Kathmandu to attend this summit. I am confident that the deliberations in the summit and various instruments of cooperation and partnership that will be exchanged during the summit will pave the way to greater flow of investment in Nepal. Nepal is still a least developed country. We confront huge development challenges, while our country has huge potential for development. We lack adequate capital and appropriate technology to realize development benefits. In this context, the convening of this high-level event assumes a particular significance. My party, Nepali Congress, initiated economic reform reform in Nepal back in 1990. Nepali Congress government liberalized the economy, invited private sectors, and created a conducive environment for foreign investment. During that short span of period, our government reoriented the policies, revised old laws, brought in new laws, realized the public expenditure and initiated the liberal income tax regime. Nepal's investment regime is now liberal in terms of sector open for foreign investment, tax policies, and repatriation earnings. Amongst all sectors are open to foreign investment. Agriculture, tourism, infrastructure, development, mines, minerals, manufacturing, tourism, hydropower, and IT are IT are some of the key sectors where domestic and foreign investment will have transformative impact. Foreign investment is protected by domestic law and various international instruments to which our country is party. I have come to know that the government has expressed its willingness to conclude bilateral investment protection agreement with various countries to promote Nepal as an attractive destination for investment. Flexible our law, demographic dividends with substantial share of young and energetic populations, reliable supply of electricity, availability of local raw materials also contribute to make production low cost compared to other high wages countries in the region. We have established one-stop service that includes the Investment Board of Nepal for large-scale project under the public-private partnership and Department of Industries for other small and medium-sized investment projects. We have streamlined process to save time and energy for registration of companies and putting them into operation relatively within a short period of time. Less bureaucracy means faster decision making and quicker approval of proposals. Moreover, all major political parties remain committed to promote foreign investment in Nepal and come together to foster consensus on key investment-related issues. During my tenure as the Prime Minister, we implemented crucial reform. We aimed at the promoting foreign investment, boosting tourism, harnessing the potential of hydropower, revitalizing industries and agriculture. As the reform was not completed, I believe that the present government will continue the reform initiatives and create more conducive environment for the private sectors. Internal market is expanding with the increase in income of people of external market is accessible due to geographical proximity and concessional trading facilities that we receive from our neighbors and other countries, other partners. Our two neighbors, India and China, offer huge market opportunity for Nepal. We also have supportive trading relationship with USA and EU. As former Prime Minister and the President of the largest and oldest Democratic Party, Nepal Congress, I would like to convey the following message. We pursue liberal economic policies where market and the private sectors have an important role to play in advancing economic development under a democratic framework. the government plays a facilitating role and creates an environment that is conducive for the investment and business without losing its responsibility to ensure social justice and inclusive representation of all segments of Nepalese society. We live in the era of intense competition of investment. This means we need to be more attractive and competitive in providing intensive and protecting investment. Money goes where it is treated well. Well, it is treated well. We continue pursuing reform in a coherent and practical manner to adjust our investment regime in the light of changes in the internal and external economic environment. We do not pursue disciplinary policy vis-a-vis foreign investors. We are treated for with national investors. We welcome foreign investors as our valued guests. There are convincing examples we provide that foreign investment in Nepal is profitable. Some of the multinationals working in Nepal have been able to repatriate a good amount of dividend over the years. Please come to Nepal and invest in our economy. That will be beneficial to you and our people. We will provide you a full protection, assure that our sustained cooperation from start to finish. We will cherish our partnership for development and prosperity. Your contribution in supporting Nepal in its endeavors to infrastructure, in its endeavors to transform the economic landscape will be highly valued. The time is of essence. Nepal has huge untapped potentials. I believe that with our common efforts, we can make a difference. I wish our international guests a pleasant stay in Nepal and a productive deliberations. I also wish to thank all the success to the summit. Thank you very much. Jai Nepal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed for your great reflections of solidarity and commitment, and of course for the acknowledgements. It's been a sheer beauty of this forum, ladies and gentlemen, since the very beginning, of our leaders standing strong together when it comes to issues of national prosperity and welfare. Thank you one more time to Honorable Sher Bahadur Deuba. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to draw your attention now to a significant moment of collaboration and commitment. And trust me, this is just the beginning. And today, in the gracious presence of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda, and reflecting the spirit of partnership and progress, we shall witness the signing of a few MOUs. The stage has been set for it, and again I reiterate, this is just the beginning with a very eventful summit that will be being held here at the Solti Hotel with so many events, B2Bs and other special events lined up. We are looking forward to many, many more. And these MOUs, these partnerships, these networkings, which are fostered here at this very forum, would be our soul, our engine, and the driving force that would take us further ahead for many, many years to come. And with this hope and confidence, it's my pleasure now to invite the signatories for the first MOU, which is between the BLC Group Nepal and Yota Data Service India. And this is for the establishment of world-class data center, cloud services, and artificial intelligence platform services in Nepal. May I invite the signatories, namely from Yota, the CEO himself, Mr. Sunil Gupta, and representing Nepal, Director of BLC, Ms. Megha Chaudhary. Initials put, may I have the privilege of inviting both these signatories up on stage for a better view and to honor the gracious presence of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the MOU between BLC Group Nepal and Yota Data Services India for the establishment and operation of data center. Thank you so much. The next MOU, ladies and gentlemen, is between the Federation of Nepali Chamber of Commerce and Industries and the National Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia for trade and investment promotion. May I have the pleasure of inviting the signatories from Malaysia Chamber of Commerce, the President himself, Tan Sri Dato So Tian Lai, and from FNCCI, President Mr. Chandra Prasad Dhakal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the signing of two MOUs simultaneously. One was the one I said earlier on trade and investment promotion. The second is between FNCCI and the Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers for Trade and Investment Promotion, with the signatories, Mr. Chandra Prasad Dhakal from FNCCI and Tan Sri Dato So Tian Lai, the President of the Malaysian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The second MOU is for trade and investment promotion. May I invite the signatories up on stage to honor the gracious presence of the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Many, many congratulations to the entities finding this collaboration as we look forward to many, many more to come in the 2 days we are here and then the days we get that network done. So that, ladies and gentlemen, these documents, as I said, symbolize our collective commitments to fostering economic growth, innovation, and sustainable development goals. We now move forward, and it's my distinct honor, ladies and gentlemen, to invite up to the podium a leader whose leadership and commitment has propelled Nepal towards a future filled with promise and opportunity. Please join me in welcoming our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who's also the chairman of the Investment Board of Nepal, to make his special address to this forum.
Honorable former Prime Minister, my cabinet colleagues, distinguished delegates, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning and namaste to everybody. At the outset, I extend my warm welcome to you all to the 3rd Nepal Investment Summit 2024. Today marks a momentous occasion in our journey towards economic prosperity and sustainable development. As we gather here, I am filled with profound optimism and confidence that Nepal is emerging as a premier investment destination offering boundless opportunities for global investors. Nepal is the land of Gautam Buddha, Mount Everest, and brave people. Equally, it is a country that wholeheartedly welcomes foreign investment. Nepal stands at the center of opportunities, welcoming investors with its untapped potential. Our unwavering commitment to liberal economic policies lays the foundation for a vibrant and investor-friendly business environment. We are strongly committed to carry out continuous reform to facilitate the investor, industrialists, innovators, and easing of doing business. In this context, the government of Nepal has recently amended 8 different laws governing business and investment regime. I believe this boosts the investor confidence to invest in Nepal. Distinguished guests, as a nation of peace and stability, we have created a conducive environment for economic growth and prosperity. The federal system of governance ensures a balanced development approach, fostering social and economic transformation across the nation. Nepal provides a number of incentives to foreign investors, including a robust regulatory framework, provision for the avoidance of double taxation, protection of intellectual property rights, competitive corporate taxation, among others. Government of Nepal has recently approved the framework of Bilateral Investment Agreement, BIA, which aims to protect and promote bilateral investment. I encourage all of our friendly nation to consider signing the BIA at the earliest. Our liberalized policy encourages foreign investment in prioritized sectors. Our skilled workforce and low labor cost present an attractive proposition for international investors. Provision of national and non-discriminatory treatment to all FDIs and guaranteed the repatriation in foreign currency further enhance the attractiveness of the investing in Nepal. Distinguished guests, with over 60% of Nepal's population falling within the working age group, and a rapidly expanding middle-class population shows the immense potential for consumer-driven growth. Furthermore, our skilled labor force, comprising a significant number of foreign language-speaking youths, helps the international investor to find favorite local workforce in Nepal. Nepal provides a number of investment opportunities across diverse sectors, including tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, ICT, garments, high-value crops, manufacturing, including agro-processing and infrastructure, to mention a few. Our hydropower potential holds the promise of abundant renewable and clean energy supply, while the tourism sector beacons with its rich cultural heritage and natural beauty. Although Nepal has a huge potential of hydropower generation, only 3,200 megawatt have been harnessed so far, and about 5,568 megawatt large-scale power projects are under construction or in the pipeline with execution through public-private partnership (PPP) modality. This explicitly shows the enormous opportunities to invest in hydropower sector in Nepal. The existing and planned cross-border transmission line with India and China facilitates energy exchange within the region. To facilitate the power cooperation within the region, we have signed power trade agreement with India, MOU for power sector cooperation with China, and MOU for power export with Bangladesh. The tourism industry stands as a significant contributor to the economy, evidenced by the arrival of over 1.2 million international tourists in 2023, marking a notable 17% increase from the previous year. Likewise, the IT sector is experiencing a steady upward trajectory with a remarkable growth rate of around 65% in service export over 2021. Additionally, Nepal presents lucrative opportunities for the export of high-value cash crop, further enhancing its investment appeal and contributing to economic growth. The ready-made garment and Nepali carpet are also the major products being exported to the global market and renowned for their quality, having huge potential for investment. The operation of two special economic zones alongside several others in the development phase throughout the nation underscore our unwavering commitment to fostering economic growth and industrial development. Currently, Nepal has 10 operational industrial districts with plans to develop 6 more, which ensure low initial investment and access to essential infrastructure and support service. Nepal's strategic location, situated between emerging markets India and China, signifies it as an ideal investment destination. Duty-free access to this market, facilitated by regional agreement SAFTA and BIMSTEC as well as free trade arrangement, ensure the bilateral and regional markets. To facilitate the smooth inflow of international private investment, the Department of Industry serves as the approving agency for investment less than 6 billion rupees, while the Investment Board Nepal handles investment exceeding 6 billion rupees or energy projects with over 200 megawatts. Both government agencies are committed to provide eased and facilitated one-stop service within stipulated time frame to both domestic and international investors. Investment in Nepal is profitable, as witnessed in the case of various companies operating in Nepal with significant foreign investment. The share of repatriation of dividend of these companies remains impressive, which demonstrates the profitable investment environment in Nepal. Distinguished guests, the agreement and exchange of Memorandum of Understanding MOU witnessed just a moment ago symbolizes the beginning of a new era of collaboration and partnership. I believe this will have a result in the very near future. I also believe that during this important today's event, some declaration will be made at different level, government to government, government to business and business to business, and business and government, and this will project Nepal as a global investment destination. The multitude of projects to be showcased at this summit herald the vast opportunities of investment in Nepal, with the promise of tangible outcomes benefiting both our nation and potential investor. As we embark on this collective journey, I am confident that Nepal's immediate goal of achieving sustainable and high economic growth in the coming decade is well within the reach through the partnership with private sector, both domestic and foreign. With the collaboration and support of all, I am optimistic that we will harness Nepal's economic potential and chart a course toward economic transformation and prosperity. I believe that the presence of government and the leader of the opposition and the collective for the environment, this mission. At the end, I express my warmest wish to all the delegates for a fruitful and productive summit. We would be reaching to you to materializing the outcomes of this summit. May your time in Nepal be filled with inspiration, collaboration, and opportunity. Together, let us pave the way for a brighter future. Wishing you a pleasant stay in Nepal. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for your very optimistic thoughts and great vision. And thank you for gracing us today with your very valuable presence. Ladies and gentlemen, trust us, it's been a Herculean task to craft all this together, tailor everything around the summit, because we wanted to create a very strong foundation, a foundation for a new era, just as similarly to what the Right Honorable Prime Minister put it, a new era of collaboration and partnership for Nepal with the friends across the world. And the IBN, with its strategic approach to investment promotion, has over the years not only spearheaded implementation of several high-profile projects, but also has fostered an environment of trust and cooperation between the government, private sectors, and international investors. And it's been a race, a very high race for the IBN and the entire team itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we applaud the entire team of IBN, who's been working day and night under the supervision and guidance of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, as well as the entire government team, may I invite now to extend the vote of thanks, the leadership himself, the CEO, who is also the Member Secretary of the Nepal Investment Summit 2024 Steering Committee, Mr. Sushil Bhatta, to extend the formal vote of thanks.
Right Honorable Prime Minister and Chairperson of IBN, Honorable Deputy Prime Ministers, Honorable Finance Minister and Coordinator of NIS 2024, former Honorable Prime Minister, Chairman Sitka, His Excellency Ambassadors, Regional Director, FCDO, Vice President from World Bank Group, ADB, and Acting BP from AIIB, President of SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Senior Vice President, US Chamber of Commerce, Lead of Delegations, CII, Presidents of FNCCI, CNI, and NCC, distinguished delegates, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from media, very good afternoon. It is with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today amidst this august gathering of minds and ideas. I warmly welcome you all to the third Nepal Investment Summit 2024. Your presence today signifies a shared commitment to growth and sustainable development, thereby shaping a brighter future for generations to come. We are delighted to welcome delegates from around the world representing different countries and companies. With around 800 foreign delegates from more than 60 countries and over 1,000 delegates from Nepal, the diversity of perspectives gathered here today is truly remarkable. This summit builds on the successes of past summits, each a stepping stone towards our collective vision of attracting substantial investments. As we gather here, we continue the legacy of those who have tirelessly worked to showcase Nepal's vast potential on the global stage. I extend my deepest gratitude to our Right Honorable Prime Minister for gracing us with memorable and inspiring address. Special thankfulness to Honorable Finance Minister for your steadfast determination, guidance and leadership for organizing this summit. And my heartfelt appreciation to Honorable former Prime Minister for your gracious presence today, showcasing collective vision of our political leadership in promoting and leveraging private sector investments, including FDI in Nepal. I am deeply honored for the insightful address shared by our distinguished guests, which have added significant depth and breadth to our discussions. A special thanks to our valued development partners for their continuous support for promoting private sector investment and in turn creating a conducive business environment in Nepal. A special gratitude to UKFCDO for facilitating in organizing this investment summit. A special thanks to Chairperson, Chief Secretary, and members of the Implementation Committee, Secretariat, and my team, Technical Committee, the Special Task Force for amendment of provisions prevailing in existing Act regulations, and whose tireless efforts have been the backbone of this summit. And extend my heartfelt appreciation to each one of you. And further, I am deeply grateful to the invaluable support of the private sector umbrella organization, the media fraternity, Hotel Solti, the event management company, and the security personnel whose collaborations have amplified the impact of this summit by ensuring the smooth and secure conduct of the event. And moving towards the summit, the first day of the event will embark on our journey with two insightful plenary sessions, and today's first plenary session will delve into the diverse investment opportunities awaiting exploration within Nepal, while the second will spotlight inspiring success stories from investors who have found prosperity within our borders. Moving to the second day, we will witness a total of 12 sessions, which covers an array of sectors with prior focus on presenting Nepal's potential areas of investments, including green investment opportunities in Nepal. And further, the summit will culminate with a pivotal session on leveraging public-private partnership for infrastructure and services. Discussions from these sessions shall have good takeaways for mobilizing private investments in different potential sectors of Nepal, including leveraging the PPP investment to complement government's development effort. Looking ahead, I anticipate that the discussions and collaborations forged during the summit will pave the way for mobilizing private investments, the country, and paving way for transformative journey towards economic prosperity and sustainable development. It is great appreciation and admiration that I extend my sincere gratitude to Government of Nepal for the recent action in issuing the ordinance for the amendment of Public-Private Partnership and Investment Act 2019. This monumental steps marks a significant achievement for the Investment Board Nepal, and it underscores its journey towards becoming a sustainable, more functional, robust, and autonomous institution. And may we embrace the challenges with courage and possibilities with optimism. Together, let's forge a legacy that resonates far beyond these walls, a legacy of unity and progress through capitalization of boundless potentials. Wishing you all a very pleasant stay and productive time in the event. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatta. May I request you to stay back? To Mr. Bhatta, if I may request you to stay back on stage as I turn to the Honorable Finance Minister, who, in the capacity of the coordinator of the Nepal Investment Summit 2024 Steering Committee, may I humbly request you to make a presentation of a felicitation as a gesture of appreciation and honor to our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda. And this is extending our heartfelt gratitude for all the supervision, the guidance, and the invaluable support that the Right Honorable Prime Minister has extended to us in every leg of drafting and executing this summit that brings us together. And may I now request our chief guest in the very concluding moments, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda, to extend felicitation to our distinguished speakers. May I request our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda, to extend felicitation to our distinguished speakers. This is extending our deepest gratitude and appreciation, first and foremost, to the President of Nepal Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Kamlesh Kumar Agarwal. President of Confederation of Nepalese Industries, Mr. Rajesh Kumar Agarwal.